It was about 10 years ago when I got sober, really. When I found out I was gonna have a kid, not joking, just started pounding a Corona.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here we go. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me in a way of like, when there's a lot of messiness up to my sobriety, family stuff, and it came to a point of like, either you clean up your life or he's gonna have no one.
What is up, my friends? Welcome to Fatherhood Field Notes podcast, where I interview incredible fathers, gaining wisdom from their stories for you and I to grow in our own craft of fatherhood. I'm your guide, Ned Shout, father to 5 kiddos, currently ages 13 to 20, and husband to my rad wife, Sarah, working on our 21st year of marriage. So yes, I am in the thick of it, and I am in this with you, working daily to rebel against the low expectations for fathers and create a world where fathers know who they are as they show up for their families. You and I have the greatest opportunity to impact our world through the way we embrace our fatherhood role. The role of the father is to serve, guide, steward, protect, and of course, find joy and have fun in the messiness of it all. Today's guest is my friend Mike Foster. He is a man in the fight. He has a story and has stepped into his fatherhood role with all of his heart, soul, and strength. He recently celebrated 10 years of sobriety and shares his story fighting for presence and his family. Mike, welcome to Fatherhood Field Notes. I am beyond stoked to meet you and to talk fatherhood and learn your story, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah, so first question right out the gate, and then I'll share how we've been connected, is how old do you find yourself today?
42. I got to think through. Almost 43.
Okay, let's go. I'm 42 as well. As you stepped into being in your 40s, what's something you sort of wish your 30-year-old self would have known? Like, what would you go tell that guy if you could?
Early 30 is going to be like, you're going to be alive. I was a train wreck in my early 30s. Like it was a hard time, but then, so 10 years now I got sobriety. So
Wow.
that was like probably leading like early 30s was like like 30 was probably like the bottom. So, but yeah, just like, you're all right. You're going to make it.
And then now with oh, this is great. So like with where you're at right now, what do you think your 52-year-old self would be telling you?
Probably the same thing. Like,
The same
you
thing.
got through it, now thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of peace there, right? Is like,
big time.
everything is going to turn out.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I talk about this sometimes, is the problems I have today, I would have begged for 10 years ago. Like the biggest, worst thing ever would have been, I would have loved to have those problems. I had different problems, like, so
Yeah.
that gives perspective, like to be able to have a close enough relationship with my kids that I'm able to go work through hard times with, like I always had pretty good relationships with them, but I wasn't present. I thought I was around, but like mentally I wasn't present.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I think as men, we wrestle with that a lot. We had connected, so we're here. You're sitting there right now. I love the background, 1776, but I was in Sacramento for work and looking for a place to work out. And dude, you're trusting dude. My assistant had worked out at your gym, your box, and she's like, "Hey, you can go over here." And it was like I got texted a code to a lockbox and went into just this epic space. I felt like on top of the world coming into your CrossFit gym, dude. Like, I love it. CrossFit 1776, all the art, the flags, the art, the paintings. I mean, dude, it was just such a rad space to come into and get to come and train in. And I just felt like, dang, like really trusting as well. To get, because we didn't meet, like somebody else had eventually came in to do a class, but I was just kind of doing my thing in there, and I needed it. It was like I really needed that workout. So, anyways, thank you for being trusting, and thank you for having an incredible space. What led you to call it 1776?
The first name was gonna be Resolute, CrossFit Resolute, because I wanted something that like like Resolute's like stand fast, like stay true to who you are kind of. Um, and I didn't even want to open a gym at first. It was just me and my friend working out in here. And he's like, dude, you need to open one. You got all your credentials. So I ended up doing it. But they had to, like, by the time it came to like going through the process, you go to do it and then the name's gone. I'm like, oh, huh. And I was like, there's no way CrossFit 1776 is available. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very, very patriotic. Like, I have the Statue of Liberty tattooed on one side, B-17 bomber, I have the American seal on the other, and I have In God We Trust on my stomach. Like, very eagle with it tearing through on my chest. Um, and they're like, yeah, it's available. Like, it comes available November 1st. And for me, I'm very about, it's not just America, it's freedom. Like, and thinking
what
about
it
it when
stands for.
yeah, when I wrote my letter to CrossFit HQ to apply for the affiliate, you have to write an essay, and it was like, what does CrossFit mean to you? Like freedom. Because to me, it's freedom from all the bondage, like my past, and this is my 1 hour to be free. And so, you know, yes, the patriotic part of it, but it's the freedom for the hour of the mom that has stay-at-home mom with her kids and is able to get her someone to watch her kids or put the kids in the pack and play. You know, freedom from the 9 to 5 of people. You know, that hour, you're the only thing that I can think about is next rep, next rep. Like the music's loud, that person's suffering. I'm like, oh, I got to keep going because she's going. She's 65. She's still going, and it doesn't matter about what weight's on the bar. It's they're going, so I'm going. And to me, that's really the real meaning. And for me, sobriety, it helped me. When I found CrossFit, I was 2 years into my recovery, and I was like, this is what I need. Like these people around me want me to be the best version of myself. And that's what recovery is that. And so it just went hand in hand. And I'm like it couldn't have aligned more with my values. And then the name, it's just, like, I don't call it a coincidence, a God coincidence. Like God had his hand exactly on like, hey, you know what? This is that. So, but
That's so good.
it always makes people like, wow, there's actually a more meaning than just being patriotic. You know, there's a deeper underlying meaning.
Yeah, that freedom piece is interesting, right? I mean, people who don't have fitness don't understand. But like right now, you know, I used to love working out in the morning. But now I live in Hawaii and my business is in California. So it's like 5 a.m., it's 8 a.m. in California. So it's like it's go time for work. And I can't work out at 4 a.m. So now I work out, you know, sometime between 4 and 5, 4 and 6 maybe. But it's like it transitions me from work mode to maybe a freedom mode, right? Like I'm not a slave to my job, not necessarily a slave to my family. That's kind of a weird way to put it. There's an opportunity to love and serve my family in a different, like in a relational way that's very different than work, right? Work is so transactional. So my fitness time is really, it's so important to my mental health. I mean, even more than my physical health, I think. It's like, and then the beautiful thing about CrossFit is just like the community that is built inside that community. It's very, very community oriented. Yeah, freedom is such a huge value of my family. Like we really, we love freedom. We love it, but freedom comes at a cost, right? You have to pay for it. You have to earn it in a lot of ways, which is what makes it such a great gift. Um, you know, it's funny. I don't know how much time so Cece, my who works with me, she had connected us. I don't know if you spend any time with her husband Seth. Have you?
No, I have not. I've heard he's awesome.
Yeah, he in my phone. His name's saved as the rabbi, so he does personal coaching with me for fitness. And but he was on my podcast a couple times, and he also, what he shares on the podcast is he got sober and in different ways or whatever, but found CrossFit at a similar time. And I think his story is that he was smoking a cigarette on the way to his first CrossFit class, something like that. And if you see the dude now, I mean, he's like, I mean, shoot, he's pretty strict with his food and nutrition.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So
you guys would
with the
connect.
smoking, it's hilarious. Is so back. So I started CrossFit about 8 years ago, 8.5. But there's a prequel to my CrossFit. Is my mom was in the CrossFit Games in
Really?
2011, 2012 and 13. I have one of the plaques on the wall from
Oh,
the
that's
games,
cool.
like had her name. She was in the 60 plus. And I was one of those guys that if I'm going to do pull-ups, I'm going to do real pull-ups. Like
Mm-mm.
my whole family did it. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law. I went to the CrossFit Games down in Carson when they were here down there. And I was the only person standing off to the side, smoking a cigarette,
That's so funny.
having my beers, and some guy from Brazil came over, and they smoke in Brazil and work out. And so he's like, oh, finally someone. But I was that guy
That's so funny.
there. And then if you see myself now, like,
Hmm.
and then I used to try to work out with them, and you could smell the alcohol. I mean, people would say stuff to them. Um, and then years later, found it. So
Yeah.
God had a plan with me, like playing around with it then, but to see it was funny. Oh,
Yep. Yeah, dude, the shifts, the changes we make, and just like you said, like what would the 42-year-old self tell the 32-year-old self? Like, you're gonna have different problems, probably lighter problems, they'll be there, but you'll be a different man to tackle those problems at the same time, based on the work you're gonna do the next 10 years.
sure.
Um, okay, I got some questions for you, but I gotta share this. Like before we jumped on, I was kind of reading my notes and then just kind of skimmed your Instagram to just kind of like start to catch a vibe. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, I just your daughter got baptized recently,
Mm-hmm.
and
That
I
makes you tear up thinking about it.
yeah, well, I don't know why, but yeah, I teared up. Like I'm sitting there watching her walk in, and I'm like, you know, I'm getting teary eyed, and she had like some emotion as well.
Hmm.
Um,
And that, like, pure joy is all I could,
that you
like,
have.
real joy. No, watching her, like, that is
Mm-hmm,
like, if you were to put definition of joy in the dictionary, like that face,
mm-hmm.
like
How old is your daughter that got baptized?
11. And that
What?
was all
What?
her choice.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Tell me more about that. And here's why. So my outside perspective, I don't know you, I don't know her. I saw this 11-year-old girl walk in and get choked up and get baptized. It meant something to her. It didn't mean everybody in my family's been baptized. And so it's like,
No.
that's my turn. It was like it meant something to her. And so maybe tell me about that. And then as a father, your role in that.
Um, Wait.
Like
So
your role.
yeah, my role, I could go that part first. Like my
Yes.
role, um, she only knows sober dad, and
Mm,
I found my sobriety through Celebrate Recovery.
mhm,
Um, I kind of choke up on this stuff. So I believed in God growing up, but I didn't have a relationship.
mhm.
So once I went to Celebrate Recovery, I had no idea what I was getting myself involved in. A 12-month process. I just
Yeah.
slammed beers to go because my mom sent me some trailer video, and I'm like, I knew I needed help. So she got to go through Celebrate Recovery with me. They have a kids version kind of thing. She got to go every Friday
Mm,
to help. She didn't know she's doing it. She's just going to daycare. But then they start
yeah.
doing it in that. Um, so the seed was a little bit planted.
Mhm,
And her mom goes to church where I'm not together with her mom. Um, so those are that then she grow like up a year ago. We started going back to that church,
mhm,
and she just dove all in.
hmm,
Like it was asking for a Bible, getting a note, taking notes in it. Like it was it was inspiring to watch, like going through. I'm doing these things. I'm going on Sundays and taking her and going to youth group and helping her. But like her, she inspired me to kind of go deeper in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the Celebrate Recovery was a big start to it,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's just a bunch of broken people at that place.
Yeah.
But that's how we all are. They just admit it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so
Where did the one, kudos to you and your daughter's mom, right? Like there's clearly some example that you guys have set through the messiness that life brings us. Like you said, everybody's broken, but you set some example, some standard, some I work on myself, I work on my life. And she saw that and she wanted to step into that same thing. And at 11 years old, you're like, man, you barely lived life, right? You've lived like 3 years of kind of, once you realize like everything's not unicorns and rainbows. Um, so anyways, my friend, it just was like really beautiful to see her passion for something so real, like the whole reason we're here.
mhm. Yeah, she wants to help others. It's amazing. You're like,
Yeah.
this my little girl, like it's cool. Like maybe I'm doing something right, you know?
Well, I mean, I see
Uh
a bunch of videos of you guys working out together and stuff too, beating each other out of wad, whatever.
yeah.
And that's some of the best relationship you make with another human. Like one of my daughters, well, actually, all at different times. So my oldest actually, so I got 4 daughters and a son. My oldest daughter came to me, whatever, 3 weeks ago, and she's like, I really want, and she hasn't done CrossFit. She just does kind of more like bodybuilding, whatever, stuff. And she said, I want to do a high rocks. And I'm like, okay. And then she, Murph was coming on Monday. And so she's like, hey, can I do Murph with you? I'm like, we're going to kind of set it up for you to succeed, but she did it, dude. So anyways, I was going to say there was one daughter I primarily work out with, but there's all my kids I've worked out with at different seasons of what's important to them. And it connects you when you sweat next to somebody and do something hard. It connects you in a different way. And I see you and your
Mhm.
daughter doing that, even you and your son. There
Yeah.
was multiple of you and your son. So how many kiddos do you have and what are
I
their
have
ages?
two. I have a 17-year-old
Okay.
and an 11. So my son's back working out with me again. So
Nice.
that's cool. He got into he's into mountain biking.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm gonna go ride. I'm gonna go ride. So he's been riding and then he broke his collarbone and
Ugh.
just had surgery, and part of getting cleared, he's like, I want to work out now. I'm like, okay,
Let's go.
I can help you. So that's cool. So, and then my daughter's 11. And then she's in and out of stages with working out with me. I have my comp tomorrow. So she's so excited. Like, I'm like, you want to not go to school? She's like, yes. Like, she's my biggest cheerleader, and not in like,
Mm,
hey, it's my dad thing. It's like this, like, she enjoys watching like
yeah.
me suffer because I think she understands the suffering of it, not just
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm watching dad. Like, um, and she likes watching the girls that are the professional ones because they're going to be there this weekend. And um, she wanted to, for my 42nd birthday, I ran a 13 and a half mile trail race through Auburn. And I was like, you know what? I'll just run it with 42 pounds
Oh,
because
gnarly.
it's my 42nd birthday.
Just make it gnarlier.
Yeah. So she wanted to do it, run the whole thing. And I was like, how about you just do what'd she do? I think it was 6 miles.
Dang.
And she
Snarly.
just, what? Like no little to no training. It was pretty cool.
Dude, kids are remarkable, bro. It's like shocking what they're capable of. Um, yeah, shocking. It reminds me of a story. Somebody called me at like 5 o'clock on a 5 o'clock on a Sunday, and they said, "Hey, we got tickets for Half Dome tomorrow, or permits, I guess, for Half
Yeah.
Dome. Do you and your son want to go for a 16-mile round trip?" My son was like 8 at the time, and I showed my son a video of Half Dome. He's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we jump in the car by 7, got to Yosemite by midnight, woke up at 5 and did the 16 miles. And dude, I was hammered the last 2 miles where I'm like hobbling, dude,
Yeah.
hobbling, because like zero training.
Uh,
And he's still doing what like an 8-year-old does, where like you're on a hike and you're like running off the side and jumping off a rock and doing this stuff. You're like, bro, that's savage. I love
yeah.
that.
That's so cool.
Um, what would you say the role of the father is?
Teacher
Mm,
and but I mean that loosely because to me, teacher is like telling someone how to do it, but like the
mm,
definition teacher, I'm like teacher of like letting them fail,
hmm,
like being there to help up. Um, I've had this with my kids and like going to daycare early and that of like the thing of I want someone to take my kids' stuff
mm,
because I want them to learn how to react when someone takes their Barbie.
hmm.
Not like in a vindictive way of like, hey, this is a lesson to be learned. When someone steals your stuff, you share and all these things. Like, so that's to me what I don't know if teacher's the right term for it, but like maybe a tour guide.
Yeah, yeah. I think guide, I think teacher, right? I think that a great teacher is somebody who doesn't tell you how to pass the test. They like give you the tools to pass it, right?
Mhm,
So, I mean, I think if we're thinking about modern day school, and we could get a philosophy rabbit trail on this, but yeah, I mean, the goal isn't to learn how to get a good grade, it's to learn something. And so
mhm,
people need to be taught, and to do that you wrestle with the text, you wrestle with what this is, and that means there's tension, and with tension there's failure, right? Like, this is how we learn and grow. So yeah, I think guide, teacher is great, and really a good teacher is somebody who's done it before, right?
mhm,
So you are living your life. You're sober 10 years. You're going to celebrate recovery. You're showing, you're wrestling with fitness, with your business, and then you're passing that on to your kids. Um, so I love that, because it's not, what I'm hearing is like, I'm not learning to be the smartest guy in the room. I'm learning to really support those around me.
mhm, mhm. 100%.
When did you embrace fatherhood? So you have a 17-year-old, you're 42, right? So around 25, you have a kid, you know, at what point were you like, oh man, was it, hey, you heard you're going to have a baby? Was it when they were born? Was it when he walked? When did you say this really matters and I want to show up well for my kid?
It was about 10 years ago when
Yeah.
I got sober, really. When I found out I was going to have a kid, not joking, just started pounding a Corona.
Mm-hmm.
Like, uh-oh, here we go.
Mm,
But it was the best thing that ever happened to me in a way of like when there's a lot of messiness up to my sobriety, family stuff, with his mom and her husband and that route of, and it came to a point of like, either you clean up your life or he's going to have no one.
mm,
Things are great with his mom now, so I could add that, but at the time he wasn't going to have a good, we weren't being good role models. We weren't, he was going to have, I mean, he was going to have people in his life, but like, he wasn't going to have a shot at being a successful human being,
yeah.
you know? And once I got sober, I started act, cause I was the dad that we would go to the park and I would be slamming beers before we went to the park.
Mm-hmm.
Cause this is pre the, like water days, like, I swear this is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it contributed to alcoholism in the world of like everyone carries this around. It used to be if you carried a Dixie cup, someone knew you had alcohol. Not
Mm,
anyone can put a drink in here now. Like, but back so I'd slam beers and I'd be present, riding a bike with him and doing that stuff, but I wasn't mentally there. And once I cleared up, things would be going on in his life, and I'm like,
mm,
I beat him at a video game one time. And I never beat him at video games, and I hated video games, but it was the way we connected.
mm.
And I was like, "Oh, that's how you win? That's what it feels like?" Oh, and I was the worst sore winner. Like, just rubbing it in. And he gets up and he cries and he runs upstairs. And this is when I was doing a lot of work on myself.
Mm,
I was at church at least 4 days a week, um, meeting people, sponsee. Like I was diving into just anything spiritual, everything. And like, there's more to this. This isn't just him upset that he lost the game.
mm,
And I went up there and I'm like, hey, let's go. We'll play Plants vs. Zombies instead of the Rocket League we were playing, was like a card game. And so he came down and we're talking. I'm like, so what was going through your head? What was going on? And he just opened up about without getting an abusive situation that happened at his mom's. It was years before, but then like just this rage came over me kind of thing. I'm like, it's past. But for me to be present, to realize that there was more to it.
Yeah.
Than him just throwing a fit and lost, he lost in that. That's what I mean about being a father. Like that time I spent the actual time to listen to my kid's reaction, not just, you don't act like that, and that wouldn't have happened without clarity of the alcohol. Like, because being there, sitting and playing video games has nothing to do with the connection we're having. It's the real talking and that the chemicals were blocking me on.
Yeah. And I think that there's so many things that men could be using to cope with whatever suffering we're dealing with. Like, we all have suffering in our life, pain in our life, stuff that's going on. But whether it's alcohol or porn or work or food or whatever, or noise you have to cope with what you going on, you have an opportunity to pay attention to your family. But if you are coping all the time, you're going to miss those moments. Your sons to the 4 pillars, to what it means to be a man. Then we work with you and your son. I'm actually the coach for the mastermind program. You got Mondo Davis, who does the 2-day event. Incredible man, 11 children. He's currently working with his 16-year-old son. I'm working with my 16-year-old son. So you guys, this is fresh. This is real. This matters. So we want to invite you to the 2-day event with you and your son. Then after that, I'll be the coach for the 6-month mastermind, where I'm working with you every 2 weeks. And then I'm working with your sons every 2 weeks, with the idea that we're helping you to really step into what does it look like to help transition your son from a boy into a man. This is something you won't want to miss. It is worth the time, the resources, to really help your son see who he is young and early, so that he can love, lead, serve a family and the kingdom moving forward at a young age. Please go to riseupkings.com/FFN to register you and your son. Would love to see you in the program. So this is the first time that this has clicked for me. And I think this will be helpful. It's going to be helpful for me, hopefully for dads. As a dad, I'm constantly, as a human, I notice when I react or respond, right? And I'm doing my best to respond when my kids does something, when my wife says something, when something happens, I want to respond. That means I'm assessing the situation and making a decision about how to respond well and not react, which means I'm triggered by this, that, or the other. And I usually respond really poorly in a reaction. And that makes a lot of sense for me. But the way you shared it, I should be looking for my kids' reactions and not getting frustrated by them, which is easy to do. Like, you shouldn't have responded to me that way. And instead go, if they're reacting, that means that there's probably something going on in their heart, mind, soul. It's not really about whatever this moment is. It's about something else. And can I, as a father, be aware that when they react, it's just a sign. It's a sign for me to do some recon and make sure I'm showing up to support, guide, teach them. And so the way you share that, it was like, hey, we should all be paying attention to our kids' reactions. And not in a sense of like, hey, Timmy, you really seem like you're upset about your chocolate milk. Like, that's not what we're talking about. You know what I mean? But how are my kids reacting? And then am I okay with what they share with me? Just like you said, like, you were doing a lot of work on yourself. So when he shares something where you could be like, frickin' turn into the Hulk, you took some breaths and you're like, okay, I'm here for you. What are we going to do? How am I going to support you? And you earned a bunch of his trust by doing it that way, right? Like, we get the chance to earn their trust by the way we respond to their reactions. Because if we're a loving dad, we can go, dude, you could spit in my face, you could totally F up, but I'm going to see beyond the action because I care about your heart.
Mhm.
So, dude, super
Yeah.
eye-opening for me. That's huge.
And hearing you say it back to me is something that I need to stay present with and keep doing that, because it was,
Don't we all?
yeah, right. It was like, so on another note, on one of those, I have another one if you want me to share a really good
Please,
trick.
let's go.
So, shoot, it was October. It's been a while. So I found me and him were just battling. And I went out, he got his driver's license. I went out to his car and I found a weed pen of the weed oil or whatever, right? So I go in his room and I like get up, come out, turn on the lights. I'm like, I'm just gonna ask you some questions. You're gonna answer. Didn't even yell. And so it was like, I don't know where this came from. So I sat down and I showed it to him, and he's like, oh, and he ended up coming clean. He had some fly around me. Thought it was him just, not fitting in and this. I'm like, it hurt when I saw that, because I felt like I've been that little kid. Like, he's a lot taller than me, but skinny, small, uncomfortable kid. And I'm like, that's where I know where you're going, Reddy. Like, I've been this route. I know how lonely this can go. Fast forward a few days, all this, coming to find out, he's doing it with his mom. He's doing it all day, every day. He's playing me. And instead of just coming unglued, I don't know where I came up with this idea. I think I came up with it because how I would like my parents to come to me when I got caught when I was younger. Because I've gone through the same boat with it. I went to the lake I said, you're coming with me. I took him to the lake. He said, we're going for a run. And he had no idea what was going on yet. I mean, I had messages I saw of him saying how much he hates me, all like just really hurtful things. How I don't show up, like things that I don't show up for. And it's like, I'm doing nothing but support his mountain bike, all these things that were just him just saying it. They weren't real, right? But I'm taking them to heart.
Reacting to something. Yeah.
And I'm taking them like not good, right? And I don't want to explode. So I take him to the lake, and I put my weight vest on. So because I can run fast. Like, I didn't want to bury him, but I knew I was like, okay, I need to slow myself down. And I said, we're gonna run. We're gonna take off we're gonna run, and then I'm gonna talk. Or first, I'm gonna talk to you about a few things, and then we're gonna run. Then I'm gonna have you respond, because I told him I didn't want to hear what you think I want me to hear. I want you to because I get clear thoughts after I work out and this stuff, right? I can process things.
Yes.
And we were just going to get into a reactionary, him going, because he's going to have the fight or flight sense of me showing him something or asking him a question that he thought I didn't know, And we took off running. I think we ran like 2.5 miles, stopped, sat down by the lake. And I said, all right, what really hit with you on that? And the main thing that hit with him, because I said, I don't do any of this for a medal, any of the stuff that I do supporting you. I do it just because I'm on team like I'm on Team Ryland, and that's it. And that stuck with him, that I'm just on his team. Like, I'm not doing this for anything other than to be on your team. And we talked on the way back, and he opened up everything, this, that, all this stuff. And it was like, where did I learn that cheat code? And he's like, man, this was a good idea. I thought I wasn't going to be in so much trouble. Like, you were just punishing me. But it was a way to open up the mind, I guess, to not, because the first thing that comes to our answer isn't the right answer. It's
right.
And I don't want to hear what you think I want to hear. I want to hear the truth.
Right. It's so strange how it's like we avoid suffering as a culture at like all cost. But so much of our growth, our reflection on like the important parts of our life are are times of suffering. It's almost like we need to rethink suffering. And I love that you and your son suffered together through a 2.5 mile run, and it's like, one, you suffer together, two, you're breathing, you're getting oxygen, you're clearing your head. It wasn't a punishment, it was a connection. And it's like, how can we find ways with the tools we have to connect with our kids? And like, the thing that I sometimes forget is like, your son is half you. My
Mhm.
son's half me. So it's like you said, you remember what it was like when your parents came down on you and you wanted to show up in a different way. So you kind of put yourself in like, I've been in this situation. What would I want it done for me? And let me go try this angle. Let me go try what I know with my kid and connect with them. Um, and I just love that. Can I ask you
Yeah.
one question? I'm gonna pop.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna
Response.
say, and
Go ahead.
him being half me is I like to suffer. I'm weird
Mm,
like that. I enjoy, like that's why I'm looking forward to hopefully they put a long workout in my competition this weekend
yeah.
because I'm good at suffering. I'm good at like being in that like uncomfortable space.
Mm,
Like to me, that's comfortable. And to him, he probably does find a little bit of that because he is half me and seeing the things and seeing me. He's not as scared of pain. Like I wouldn't say pain in a physical, in a hard workout way. There is pain in it,
mm,
but it's not going to hurt you pain. It's just your brain telling you to slow down or this, you're not going to, you're fine. It's not,
mm.
um,
Yeah, you have a lot of ability. We all do as humans have a lot of ability to self control, right? And I love that. I think that's one of the gnarliest things in Galatians, like the fruits of the spirit. All makes sense: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. Like if you look at my life and I'm producing fruit, that's what you should see. And self control is listed. And it's like, dude, that's a gnarly one. Like we have the ability of self-control. And so much of that, and the benefit of CrossFit and working out is when you're in the pain cave and you're like, I can keep going, right? You're like coaching yourself. I can do this. And a lot of self-control is just having the ability to not listen to the voices tell you whatever lies they're telling you.
he was smoking weed with people he should not have been that doing it with him.
um, Thinking about sobriety, if there's a guy listening right now and he is still like having to chug a beer before he goes to his kid's sport event, or he has to chug a beer before he leaves the office to go home, and he's kind of like coping with, I need to take the edge off, and it's probably a bigger problem than he realizes, right? Like maybe he's making money, he's paying his bills, his wife loves him, his kids love him, and so like there's a lot of like attaboys that are still happening, but he's not clear in his head to be as prepared, present. Let's just use present. What would be a few things that you would share from him on this end of it to say, dude, think about this, step into this, consider that?
Um, you can still have fun. You can still be a part of
Mm,
everything. That was like the scariest thing for me because it was such a part of all my life, like sporting events, just literally everything we do. Like
mm,
you go anywhere, people have it.
mm-hmm,
Um, and the the trust that your kids, I mean, you don't realize that I hear them say my kids about their moms, and it's not they're alcoholics or anything. It's just like, oh, we're going here and this. Like they notice it because dad
yeah,
doesn't do it. So they really
yeah,
notice. And I'm like, well, people can have a beer. People, not everyone's like dad. Not everyone, but they
mm,
do notice it. Um, but like it was such a part of me in like my friendships, everything that I was like, and I never had a DUI. I didn't have a car accident. I didn't have any of the things that like people usually do to hit rock bottom. Relationships were
mm-hmm,
starting to go and that stuff. It was on its way, believe me. It was
yeah,
on its way to lose my other business, my vehicle wrap business. Membership, families ties weren't the best, but it wasn't gone yet. And it is so worth it. Like
mm,
being able to show up at any time for your kids. And like the other thing is like with like our drinks, they're like, has it got anything in it? And that means, does it have pre-workout or what? Like,
Yeah.
but my kids can, even that, they're like, oh, this is a weird one. Like, I don't ever have to worry about them picking up anything of mine.
Hmm.
And that is a weird piece.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Like, if you have a cup, they can't just grab it and drink it, right? Like, like I see it because they've seen me like with like a root beer, and they're like, "What's that?" Like something looks odd with dad. And I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Something's weird." And I'm like, "Oh, it's this," and it's like a IB, like one of those root beers in a bottle,
Uh-huh.
and it looks weird to it. It looks out of place.
Hmm.
But it's and I don't know because my daughter doesn't know the drunk dad.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know the dad on the kitchen floor, and I don't know if my son remembers it, but he remembers situations where I'm like, wow, you were 8 years old and I didn't think you'd remember being there.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but
We're
I
having
can, go ahead.
no, please.
Like, I just like being able to just do whatever with my kids, like, and not relying on that false me. Like, even the dances, that's a big one. The father-daughter dance. I love those
Mm.
things. My daughter, we go shopping. She had me buy a pink shirt. You see that pink shirt on my
Yeah.
Instagram? She picked that whole outfit out for me, and I get to go and be that. And every single dad there is intoxicated. It
Oh,
smells
really?
like a bar. It seriously smells like a bar, and it's disturbing to know that many
Hmm.
dads can't go hang out with their daughters and be goofy
Yeah.
and be
Without.
present.
Yeah.
That they're that insecure,
Hmm.
because that's just an internal thing that they have on their own.
Right.
And their kids might not see it there, but like I can be the person that I want my daughter to try to eventually marry like that and be proud of that.
Hmm.
And that is one thing. Now the thing about tying this back into the question is, I'm the guy that I would want her to bring home. If you would have
Yeah.
brought my old self home, I'd
Yeah.
been like, who's this dude? No way.
Right.
You
Right.
can't. Not to say you have to be a sober Sally like that, but like I was, everything involved that. And
Well, I mean, that just brings up a thing for us to consider as dads too, is, um, as like a husband myself, is, can I go out with my wife? So you made the comment, like, I want to be the kind of man that my daughter is going to marry. Right.
mhm.
And obviously we're like, if I'm at a dance with my daughter and she's 10 and I need to take a couple shots before I go in or whatever, so that I'm loosened up enough to just go dance and be silly. And no, like, I'll go have a glass of wine with my wife or whatever. Like, I'm fine with that. But the thing I want us to consider is, do I have to go take a shot or get that second beer in me to enjoy my time with my wife? Like, I don't want to be that guy, or with my friends, right? Can we enjoy each other without the drink? And that's something, like, I grew up, alcohol was like off the table. Just growing to church, like, just, Christians don't drink was what, so for me, I had a weird relationship. I didn't drink really until I was like 35. Because I was more toxic inside by not drinking. That's a longer story.
Mhm.
Um, and now I could kind of take it or leave it. But my point was just, do I have to have this to have a good time? And so we've talked about that with our older kids, is like, I don't want you to think you need this at everything you go to, because that's, you look at adults, it's like, oh, we're going to the beach, grab the beers. We're going camping, grab the beers. We're going to sit by the fire, grab the beers. And I don't want that to always be that thing that's always in the mind, that I can't have a good time without this. So
Mhm.
I think that's a great reflection. Any other thoughts on that? If not, I'm gonna move to a couple last questions.
No, I think that's. Oh, the
So
little trick on that though, if you do need to have
yeah.
something, LaCroix or like the little carbonated
Oh
waters.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a little trick because I'm so used to always having something in my hand, and you do feel awkward. Not just a water or a water bottle. That's a little
Well,
trick, like around the guys.
lately, so I'm like a proponent. I don't know what you think, but like, even the other night, my brother was here. I'm only really having a drink on Friday nights at the moment. It's just like, with fitness and work and
Yeah.
the level that I'm sleeping. So non-alcoholic beer. So I grabbed some non-alcoholic beers, the
Oh,
Athletics.
nice.
I've been enjoying those. And it's like, sometimes you mow the lawn or you do whatever,
Yeah.
but then I want to work out. It's like I could enjoy this and then still. So anyways, those
Yeah.
have been at my house quite a bit more often
The,
now.
Mine, I was just like, I think those are great for people. For me, it's too close to the thing.
Yeah,
And
for
there was
sure.
only like O'Doul's at the time when I quit drinking. Like now
Hmm.
like alcohol industry has learned that they're losing a lot of people to being healthy. And so they're like, that's a
Hmm.
lot of dollar signs. So we got to create a new product for them. And so, but for me, it's like, I've made it this long without them.
Yeah, no need.
No need, but, I probably would have if they had better ones than just O'Doul's.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
Um, okay, my two last questions here. So I love to ask about this, and you can say pass if you want, but you know, obviously we both have dads. What's something that you loved about your dad, and then what's something you wish would have been different?
Uh, I love, I, they, like, I had a great upbringing.
Hmm.
I can't say, oh, this happened and that's why I drank. I mean, like, I grew up, Eddie Murphy was one of our neighbors. I grew up in a wonderful neighborhood. We were the second house built, so we wouldn't have been able to afford it if we didn't build them when we did. But,
Hmm.
Los Lagos, that if you
Yeah.
since being in Auburn, I grew up in there. Had professional basketball players for neighbors and that stuff. But I remember my dad being present. Like,
Hmm.
I really like, they still come into the gym 3 or 4 days a week.
That's so cool.
I talk to him a couple days a week, even if I see him, I still talk to him on the phone. Um, and it, I know it wasn't perfect, but I feel like I remember him like caring about our interests,
Hmm.
like really,
Hmm.
like not trying to take it away from us. Like, sometimes I feel like parents coach the stuff because they want their kid to do this stuff. But he just coached because
Yeah.
they needed a coach, not because anything other than that, right? Like, we were into riding dirt bikes and that,
Hmm.
or quads. We were into those, so he would always help us with those. And um, yeah, he was wanted us to chase our goals and our dreams, kind of thing. With wakeboarding, he bought me a wakeboard boat because I was like really, really, really into wakeboarding.
That's awesome.
Um, to like chase that dream, and then I broke both my shoulders,
Eesh.
tore all the ligaments, and doing that.
Is there anything
But
you wish you would have done differently?
um, there's a couple things. There's the not be so lenient
Hmm.
when it came to catching me. Like, it's not just a kid saying do that. Like, no, kids don't do that. Like, um, they weren't like the like parents that let you do anything, but like they knew and they didn't do anything.
Hmm.
Like, they wouldn't
Hmm.
let you do it, but they would not stop you,
Yeah.
kind of.
Blindness is more like I just want to pretend like my kid doesn't do those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would probably like even at 19, if they're 19 drinking in the house, I don't think, like, I won't let my kids do that.
Hmm.
Like, I know they're out of high school and all that. It just, you know, like, yeah, they're staying home, but it's like, like, cause I know where I went,
Right.
and then what that led to. And I wasn't just having a couple beers. Like, it ended up, and so that's just, it probably would have turned out the way I was anyways, but, um,
But yeah, it's like, and I asked the question because I want dads to realize, like, your kids are going to have a view of you one day. If they're asked that question, what are they going to say? And the other thing is like you at 42, we're at 42 years old, we still feel a way towards our dad, and it's like, okay, how do I learn from these things? And one, probably have empathy for our fathers, and then two is like go and love our kids in a way that we would have wanted to be loved
mhm.
or taken care of or served. And so I just think it's this realization, like, it still matters. Fatherhood is so powerful and it matters to our soul, and I want dads just to lean into that acknowledgement.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing I would want to do is that not everyone's out to get you.
Mm.
Like, he had a hard upbringing. A lot of bad things happened to him growing up.
Mm,
Um, so he would say, "No good deed goes unpunished." Like, so when you help someone, you're gonna get screwed over. That
mm,
like he like if someone crosses his path wrong, he'll write them off.
mm.
And it's like there's no forgiveness, I guess, is where there would be like that. I feel like he would teach us how to do that.
Mm,
Is like let stuff go and forgive, and because those are all things I'm dealing with now. I'm
yeah.
like, man, just jump to conclusion.
Yeah, learning to do that ourselves. Isn't it funny when you reflect on the things you wish your parents did differently and you're like, "Oh, I kind of do that.
Yeah.
I want to shift that." Yeah, and
And I see it like you see
it's
it on the
yeah.
dumbest little thing. He's like, "Oh, they did this." It's like it doesn't even matter to you.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
let it go. But you
Yeah.
just want to be mad about it just because. But and like now it's not just he's just an old guy. No, that's how he was his whole life.
Mm,
And then we're over here mimicking those exact
yep.
behaviors. And I'm like, oh, thanks. No.
Yep. But we have the opportunity to shift that for our kids. Like if we step into that awareness, which comes from stopping to cope with whatever it is, and digging into, that discovering ourselves and being the best version of ourselves.
Mm.
Before I ask you my final question, um, people can check you out at Mike CrossFit 1776 on Instagram. And then I would love for you to just share a little bit about Resolute Life, something that you're putting out in the world right now.
Yeah, so that's our foundation that started that. I'll end up if someone's in recovery, like, hey, just come into my gym. I'll just give them a free membership.
Hmm.
I've had people lose their jobs, and it's just to help. Like one lady had kidney issues. I'm like, just keep coming in. Your health is more important. I know you can't
Yeah.
afford it, but like, we'll take care of you. So that's the goal is with that. We've got a little bit of leeway going on it. Um, and so right now it's just covering a few people's memberships.
Hmm.
But the goal is to have a class during the day to help anyone in recovery, a free class that they can come to every day.
Love
They
that.
can
And your
come into
guys
the
is
gym.
yeah, and your website's CrossFit1776.com. So
Yeah, and then
Sacramento
there's a drop
area.
down
Yeah.
tab on there that has the Resolute Life. That I mean, it's a 501(c)(3), and um, really just want to try to help people the way it's helped me. So
Yeah, dude. So good. All right, my friend, here's my last question. And the podcast is Fatherhood Field Notes, which you've been open up your field notes, your life, sharing it with us. But the mantra is rebel and create. This idea that as men, we want to fight for something, we want to use our power and strength, but not to be destructive, right? But what are you rebelling against? And then what do you hope to create in its place? And so when you hear that, is it like I'm rebelling against, phones at the dinner table to create, you know, a deeper connection? Or is there something else in your life that when I say that mantra, it comes to mind for Mike Foster?
um, I forget what I wrote down on the thing, but I remember like what's coming to mind is just like rebel against the world, like not
Hmm.
like the worldly the all the worldly distractions.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Instagram, the all this, the porn, just the worldly things that we chase.
Hmm. All
To
the distractions. Yeah.
yes, all our coping mechanisms.
Hmm.
That would be more, I guess you could say, is that would be and to create uh, uh, um for me, it's like a confident person, like a real
Mm,
person.
I love that. I love that. So, my friends, as you listen to the conversation with Mike and I, like all of us are probably at times need to check in with ourselves. Like we're probably coping with something, hiding from something, running from something. What is it? What are you using to cope? And then how do you become sober minded? How do you become present in the day so that you can love and serve like the things that have been given to us, whether it's, family, business, neighbors, opportunities to be salt and light and love out in the world. Mike, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Thank you for sharing your time, your life. Any last thoughts before we end our conversation today?
Just like this little motto I came up with when I've been doing this ruck stuff, and don't let the hard days win. Like that, I have to tell myself that, because you get caught up on the day, and it's like don't worry about today. Today will worry, or tomorrow will worry about itself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know the exact scripture, but that's so true about don't let today, that's hard.
Yeah.
This moment win. You got tomorrow. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Today has enough for us to deal with, to not worry about tomorrow. And I think sometimes it's just reminding ourselves, like, God entrusted us with today, right? So it's like he believes we have the power to with him, right? Obviously, handle the day. So stepping into the whatever that opportunity is, and a lot of times there are hard days. And so what are we going to do with this hard day? How are we going to steward it well? So I'm in just total agreement with you. Mike, dude, just blessings to you, your family. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hopefully dropping in to CrossFit 1776 again. But thank you for who you are and the man that you are, and continuing to show up and fight for your kiddos and for anybody that God puts in your path, dude. Much love. Look forward to connecting again.
Thank you.
What an incredible dude. Love the conversation. Love the continued fight, the hope. The leaning into the sobriety and the way that has caused him to be present. And I love the conversation around being responsive and not reactive, and then paying attention to when our kids are reactive and how we can show up for them as fathers. My friends, if you are enjoying these conversations, the two ways that you can support me is 1, write a review, and 2, send it to a friend. If you know somebody who may be in sobriety, thinking about sobriety, send this to them, encourage them. Us fathers need to be there and support each other. Thank you to all you dads out there listening to Fatherhood Field Notes Podcast. What you do matters. Don't be like everybody else. Be yourself. That's who your kids, spouse, and community needs. This is your guide, Ned Shout. Together, let's rebel against the view that fatherhood has little impact and create lives engaged in mastering the craft of fatherhood. I look forward to hanging out with you next time.